Hi, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Liz.
And we are the Adventure Closet.
And today, we are backpacking in the North Cascades to Independence Lake and North Lake.
So come along with us.
Come on. Hi, I'm Liz, and this is Charlie. We've been living and traveling in our minivan Opal for 2 years now, and we love taking you guys on new and spontaneous adventures. So hop in the van and let's go somewhere. Wow. Okay, goat. It's good to be home, back in the land of the giants. We are on the Independence Lake and North Lake Trail. It is already getting us out of breath. My glasses are fogging up. The first 0.7 miles of this trek goes to Independence Lake, which is a beautiful lake. I can't wait to show you guys. The stop that we're really after is North Lake, which I've attempted in the snow before and failed. Charlie and I thought about attempting it after one epic video that we made a long time ago, early on in our YouTube.
Way tough.
Actually, it wasn't one video, it's 2 videos.
Yeah, it was 2-parter.
So we'll definitely link those below. It was our Helena Ridge hike. You'd think I'd stop and catch my breath so I could talk to you guys. Ain't nobody got time for that. North Lake is just over 7 miles round trip, 2,200 feet in elevation gain. That's a pretty steep hike for the mileage. We're hoping to get there and see what a beautiful place it is. But for now, enjoy this hike to Independence Lake.
You know, I've had some complaints about me adding music to the to our videos sometimes, especially on our hiking videos. But you tell me, what would you rather hear? This.
Don't forget that.
Or this. So, which one do you prefer? Leave a comment. You know, the nice part about being home in Washington State is we have a safe place to park Opal, our van, with all our belongings. And we also have Goat, which Opal wouldn't have made it to this trailhead, as you can see here. But Goat definitely did. We do a lot more hiking if we didn't have to leave all our belongings at the trailhead. A lot of the trails that we wanted to do outside of the state, there's a lot of reports of came back and 2 cars' windows were broken. There's just a lot of thieves at trailheads nowadays. It keeps us from doing some pretty epic hikes while we're on the road.
Here's Charlie for scale. You're 6'1".
Yeah.
And this tree is probably as wide as you are tall.
Probably.
Wow. We made it, you guys. You see that little glimpse of green through the trees? This is our first lake, Independence Lake. How cool is that? Can't wait to show you guys the full view, but you're getting kind of a sneak peek right now. It's so cool. What a shot. The lighting is perfect. So we're following along the bank of Independence Lake because our route to get up above it towards North Lake is over there, towards the inlet. We just crossed the outlet stream. This is a good fishing lake.
We have to go up that into the clouds. That is very steep, but we'll make it.
This is super steep. This hike is relentless, but we're working our way up switchbacks up this avalanche field, getting into the cloud level. It's tough, but it's beautiful.
know if you can see all the sweat beating off my head, but this is a tough hike. I'm like drenched in sweat right now, which is normal for me on a steep hike, but it's worth it. I like the views and stuff.
I've been really wanting Charlie to see this cedar. It's an Alaskan yellow cedar. And finally he gets to see it. He loves trees. And this one's super special because it's the only one out here. I mean, there might be others, but the only one on the trail.
So you see all these trees here and how they're kind of a darker wood. And then you look at this thing. It's just like a silver giant. So this is the hillside we're going up. This is looking straight, so you kind of get an idea of how steep it is. And we still got a little ways to go. Liz was just noticing on this tree here, this root is like hugging that rock at a 90-degree angle. So it's going from the tree around the rock and then back into the dirt.
Which really shows how steep this is. The trees are just hanging on, cliffhangers.
Yeah. Liz mentioned our Helena Ridge hike earlier in the video, and there was a stream waterfall here, and this is where we filled our water at the end of that hike after almost dying of thirst because there was no place to fill water on Helena Ridge. It seems like we were pretty close to North Lake, and we probably could have done it had we had more time and more food with us to stay one more night. But this time we're doing it. As you can see, there is no water in this spot right now. But check out these little depressions from rocks coming out. Or possibly a rock in there spinning.
And here's the point from our Helena Ridge videos from way back when, where we came out and was our first sign of people. Because somebody passed us on the trail and we looked like we were dying. And we didn't quite know where we were because I don't think we had the map fully downloaded. We went farther than we thought. We kind of had an idea we were on the North Lake Trail. But from this point forward is new territory for us.
The sun just came out. Couldn't have been at a better time. We are right at the top here. I see the first of the tarns. Yeah, we just crested the top. Don't have a view of the lake yet, but look at this. Beautiful. It's a long way down too. So we gotta go all the way down to the lake. Oh, I can kind of see glimpses of it down there.
Oh, wow. We have to go pretty far down.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, look at the water.
Yeah.
I just hollered at Charlie, I'm getting hungry. And he's like, have your bar that's in your pocket. And then I look down and there's blueberries. Oh yeah. The trail will provide. That's what Charlie said to me. And it's true. It has this far. The road will provide, the trail will provide.
Nice little peekaboo view here. But look at this. There's a bunch of round rock in this boulder. Yes, we're looking at rocks today too. We look at rocks every day here on the Adventure Closet. Or at least we try to. But some interesting geology here with the conglomerate. Giant conglomerate. Like this hillside. It's pretty much a conglomerate. Trail's pretty hard to find here. According to the map, we need to go this way and down. Which might be a little more straightforward than not.
We still have a bit to drop down to the lake, but getting a closer glimpse. It's beautiful. So we've reached this boulder field. We're just above the lake. I think we'll be dropping down here quick. It's a long approach to the lake, longer than you think. Here we are. Just us. This whole place to ourselves. I got my sea legs going. If you've never backpacked before, after like hiking for miles with a heavy pack on your back, and you take it off and walk around, it's like you feel all wobbly, like you've been on a boat, or that you are on a boat. It's kind of crazy. Oh, it's good to be here. This lake has been a goal of ours for a long time. It's beautiful. The water is so clear. Well, we totally scored. Somebody left their isopro fuel, which is the type of fuel we use for an Opal and when we're backpacking. This is the big can, so they might not have just wanted to haul it up. that could have been the reason. But it was kind of sitting behind a rock, so if they set it down and didn't see it, they could easily walk off without it. Or, you know, that could have been part of it too. Make you a little forgetful. Looks like we're gonna be in a full cloud here in a minute. I should probably set up camp in case it rains.
All right, this is our tent. Liz did a lot of research on this to buy one of the lightest tents possible, made from a material called Dyneema. It's a tarp tent, double rainbow lithium. And believe it or not, that's big enough for me and her and our gear. So it's nice. Weighs about 1.1 pounds and goes up pretty easy. If I couldn't use the stakes, like if we were setting up on a rock like we've done before, we'd just use Liz's hiking poles, which she only brought one of this time.
We film a lot more. I need a hand.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our tent. All right, and this is what it looks like inside with it set up. Got Liz's pillow, my pillow, our sleeping bags, our sleeping pads, and then we can put stuff up there. And we can also put stuff under these little flaps to keep them dry. I have a feeling since we're on a slope, we're gonna be sliding down that way all night. And it's probably gonna suck. But there isn't too many choices for places to set up here. So this is our spot.
So I'm gonna make some lunch. We're starving. We didn't even snack on the trail. But it's been a while since we've done a backpacking video, and it's kind of cool to bring out some of the gear. This is our backpacking stove. It's a BRS 2000, and it's super light. And it boils water pretty fast. This is my bear bag. It's super ultra light. It's made out of a material called Dyneema. You basically just hang it from a string from a tree so bears can't reach it. So we got couscous, spicy ramen, roasted garlic, mashed potatoes, salmon, other stuff too. I don't know what to make. Let's just get some water boiling. It's our water filter, Sawyer Squeeze. It's a pretty handy dandy little device.
Yeah.
This is where the clean water comes out of. That's where the dirty water goes into.
It filters out about 99.9% of all bacteria.
We'll link this below, if I remember.
Yeah.
Because these are really handy, especially I highly recommend this knock bag. It's CNOC.
Yeah. CNOC.
I probably could have taken water from the lake and just boiled it straight, but it's nice to filter out the bugs and
sediments
and stuff.
It's always good to be safe.
Yeah. Sometimes there's heavy metals in there you can't see.
Heavy metal. And they call it a Sawyer squeeze because she's squeezing the bottle to get
And
it
it's
out.
actually a fairly quick pump or water filter. Some of them are painfully slow.
Yes.
And I could make it, if I could force this to go faster if I squeezed the end of this more, but I don't like to push the limits of the gear. Because backpacking stuff is expensive.
Catch of the day!
Just gonna let this soak for 5 minutes with the lid on. We have these lids. One of these cups we found on trail, the other one we got at REI. The trail always provides.
At least provided one of them.
Provided us some fuel
Yeah.
and blueberries.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Look at these clouds. Just rolling in.
That's a weird sound the clouds make.
Somebody's getting ready to go fishing.
See my fancy gimmicky fishing pole?
Careful.
Whoa.
About to catch a lure in your face.
Yeah. It's a telescoping rod made by Eagle Claw, and it's been the handiest fishing pole because it fits easily in an Opal or minivan. It fits easily in my minimalist backpack here, and I can just go fishing super fast. Super fast setup.
About to touch down to the lake here with the clouds. It's coming in all around us. It's kind of cold. We both got our coats on.
You guys, I'm using this little like rainbow Panther Martin, and I'm reeling in and I see this small fish chasing after, and I'm like, hey, I haven't caught a fish yet. I'm gonna catch that small fish. And this huge brook trout comes chasing up behind it. It looks at my lure and turns away. It took my breath away seeing that trout. Like, I can't show you how big it was. I'll show you later. But I really wish I was filming because that would be such a cool fish to catch.
She's got a chair right here, but she sits on the rock.
This rock is up higher. It's easier. So I'm just climbing across this boulder field here, and I feel like a grumpy old lady. But I look down in this hole here, and there's fresh tortillas, lime, cheese, sour cream, all the fixings for tacos down there. Now, I'm not mad because I don't have tacos, but it's like right next to our camp. You can see our stuff over there. And also, this is like a pristine sub-alpine lake. Like, pack it in and pack it out. And it's like, you can tell that was done today. So I'm kind of disappointed if it's that crew that we passed. It was kind of some younger guys, completely strong enough to pack out a couple tortillas. So don't be a wimp. Pack out your garbage. You don't want to mess up a place like this. There's pikas over here. I don't see them yet. They live in the rocks.
It's gonna be a very difficult time getting out of here tomorrow. It's super steep. I mean, you can see how steep it is behind us, and the way we have to go up isn't much less steep than that. Actually, I think that's probably less steep than the way we have to go up. But not looking forward to that. It'll be a shorter way up. So we only have to go 800 feet up versus almost 2,000 feet. And then it'll be all downhill, well, mostly downhill from there, which should be good. Making some dinner. And for dinner, we're having a ramen bomb. There's many ways to make these. Basically, you just fortify your ramen with some good stuff. In this case, it's ramen and potatoes, chili ramen and garlic taters. Good stuff.
I probably fished for like 5 hours today. Didn't I? Like, we got here at like...
Yeah, 4 hours. You've been fishing for 4 hours.
It's a beautiful place to fish, though.
It is. Hi.
Hi.
Where's your shoes?
Outside under the vestibule.
Okay.
Under the vegetable.
Under the vegetable. That's where mine will be. We are home. Can you even see me?
Just your silhouette.
Oh, what a day. You know, we hiked like a lot. And there was a big hill. And I'm tired.
Me too.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
The moon's just cresting the hill right there. Good morning. Neither of us slept well. Too much of a slant. The air mattresses were a little too stiff. We kept rolling around all night. We were like just two little twisters going on in the tent.
I was afraid to deflate them.
Yeah, he didn't want to deflate them a little bit. They were a little hard.
Yeah, you're supposed to deflate, like not have them fully inflated.
That's why she should blow them up next time. It's a beautiful morning. The sun is just now cresting the hill behind us, or behind me. As you can see, a little rim of sunlight. Probably gonna be a hot day. And we gotta climb up that thing behind me. It's pretty steep.
Well, it's not for lack of trying. I fished into the night last night and fished for a good portion of the morning. Got up super early. Nothing. And maybe if there's some other fishermen watching or fisherwomen, you can give me some tips here. So over there, I'm pointing with the tip of my rod, there is the outlet. It's Falls Creek. And fish are rising a ton over in that direction. So obviously probably good fishing over there. The problem is I can't access it. There's this huge avalanche chute, and then that's a sheer drop over there. Now, this is the primary inlet, but it's dried up because it's, you know, it's well into summer and it seems to be a super dry year. So there's nothing coming into the lake right now. And my theory is that that is why the fishing is not very active on this side of the lake. And having that avalanche chute, we're going to have shallower waters coming in because it kind of gradually leads into the center of the lake. And we're fishing for trout here, which like to be in deeper water. So although I've seen a few fish in the shallows, and I saw that big one, I haven't really seen a whole lot, and there's not much biting. I got one strike and missed it, and it wasn't a very big guy. So, yeah, I think I maybe came here too late for being able to fish from the shore. If I had a float tube or something, I'd be nailing fish. Just a little bit further than I can cast. That's my theory. You guys let me know what you think.
There she comes. 7:04 a.m. We got up at like 5:30 because we couldn't sleep well. The lake is just crystal clear this morning. Well, that was fun.
That was so much fun.
Thanks for coming along with us, and I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye now.
Bye now. All right, now we gotta hike up this hill.
Oh man.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive.
Charlie just noticed there's two yellow cedars up here on top of the ridge above the lake.
A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. feel